Alright, how's everybody doing? So today we're going to talk about the agent operative healer kind of nerf, I guess, that's coming in 2.7 for the healers. It's in surgical probe and how surgical probe acts during a fight. It's basically a PvP nerf, and I'll show you how it works in PvP, but it's my bigger issue is how it's going to work in PvE, and I'll show you how ideally it works in PvE as well. So first we'll talk about what the nerf actually is. There's my tune there, and I'll bring up the healing tree. So here's the healing tree. It's the medicine tree for the operative healer. If you go up the tree a few tiers, you'll see where you can finally get surgical probe. And surgical probe then has a buff to it, I guess. It's called surgical precision. And if you can't see this, what precision does is it increases the healing dealt by surgical probe by 15% and increases the max stack limit of tactical advantage by 1. So it gives you an extra stack of tactical advantage that like operative DPS don't get. So you can have 3. And the bigger thing is immediately regrants tactical advantage when used on a target below 30%. What that means is, as it stands right now, if I'm healing somebody in PvE or PvP, and that person's health is below 30%, so anywhere under 30%, if I hit him with surgical probe, it gives me tactical advantage back. That's very important to know because you need tactical advantage to use surgical probe. So effectively what it does is it lets you spam surgical probe, an instant heal on anybody under 30%. It's amazing. It's an amazing heal. It's really great for survivability for me, like as an operative healer. If I'm running around, I can just spam it on myself when I'm getting focused. And if you see some of my videos on YouTube, you'll see that I do that a lot because it's just you have to do it to live. So that's what it does. The big thing for this video is that it regrants tactical advantage if you're under 30%, if your target is under 30%, and that's important because you get tactical advantage you need tactical advantage every time you use surgical probe. So those two thoughts combine to make surgical probe an instant, basically, and spammable. I don't really have I don't really have a way to pop it right now because I'm inside my ship like a dumbass. But it's down here in the bottom left, and it hits pretty good. My surgical probe will hit for a pretty good amount of heals, anywhere between 4,000 to 6,000, I believe. That might be low, I might be high, I don't know, but somewhere around there. It's pretty wicked heal. It's amazing in PvE. It gets you out of a lot of trouble if you combine that with injections. I just hit injection, I got tactical advantage, and I hit myself with it. You can just spam those two combined pretty well. So that one hit for like 5,400 on myself. So Koto injection gives you tactical advantage, and you can use surgical probe to get tactical advantage. So yeah, well, you need to use surgical probe to burn tactical advantage. So that's a pretty good combination heal in PvE when you're just trying to burst. It also works really well in PvE. PvP, I'm sorry, it works well in PvP for people. So that's the buff, that's the nerf that people are complaining about. The people are saying is going to be a problem. What I did is I recorded myself playing in PvP and in PvE in specific moments where I usually spam surgical probe under 30%. The PvE one is a lot easier to get because it just shows me, you know, there's one person, and if I'm focus healing somebody, I usually get to a point where they're under 30%. The video I'm going to show you from that part is an assassin, I believe, is just getting wrecked by a bunch of people. You'll actually see me wait for that person to get under 30% just so you can see the heal, how hard it hits, how much you can spam it, and how much you can keep a person alive while they're getting focused. And there's a lot of people on that assassin. What I don't know right now, and when I see the video again, I'll remember. I don't know if that person was in tank spec, so they probably have a cooldown here or there. But you'll see them just about die, I think a couple of times. You also see me wait for that person to drop down under 30% and then hit it again. So I'm basically toying with like the 4 people that are focusing. So in PvE, it's an absolutely OP ability that probably should be nerfed. But the second video will show you in PvE, and I'll talk to you about that once we get there, about why that's a problem, and why it's going to kind of hurt us a little bit if we don't know what we're doing for PvE. It's the end of the council fight, which is currently right now a pretty good fight, and some guilds are having problems with it, so it's kind of an important fight to heal through. So with all that said, I'll let you see these videos. We'll talk to you a little bit through them, and then maybe come up for some wrap-up stuff. So this is the PvP map. It's the turret one. You can see me kind of running around going crazy. I'll pop stealth, and the whole point of this part is to show that I will focus one person here in a second. I'll tell you when that tune is, and all I do is hit surgical probe on him. You'll see him almost die a couple of times. It'll be the assassin. And I just kind of wait around for somebody to get close enough to where I can spam it on him. And this assassin kind of becomes the lucky one. He's had a bunch of people on him, and it just doesn't matter for a really long time. This is him here. So you'll see his HP drop below 30. Now I'm spamming surgical probe. He should be dead there, but he's not. I'll hit it just nothing but surgical probe because it re-grants tactical advantage and it makes it a constant spammable instant. He should be dead multiple times here. Look at all the people on him. There's like 4 people on him. He doesn't die. I actually get him up past 30% with only surgical probe, and then I wait again for him to drop and I do it again. I'm pretty sure he's using the cooldown, but the point of this video is to show you how really overpowered the surgical probe heal is with the boost that surgical precision gets. With the nerf, I won't be able to do that anymore. This is the console fight. It's the end of hard mode fight. It's the end of Dread Palace. And I'm going to zoom in on the levels here. We're getting to the final phase where all of the Dread Masters kind of come to the center. And it's kind of a heal fest. So we have our sniper drop his shield. And it's a heal fest. I want you to see
what's going on.
The top left thing in the frame is a tank. Because tanks don't really matter at this part of the fight, I don't really do a lot of healing on him. Aside from AoEs, and the sword with me probably hits him a couple of times, but he gets under 30%.
Prepare for transition.
As of now, I could spam surgical probe on him to get him over 30%. With the nerf, I won't be able to do that anymore. During this part of the fight, not a lot of my guys here get under 30% because we got the fight pretty much figured. But when you're learning a fight like this, you need surgical probe a lot because you'll see multiple people under 30% at a time. And if you can cycle through and just spam it on them, it's an amazing ability to heal through stuff, and you can kind of figure out a good way to keep people alive long enough for a cast to come off cooldown, long enough for your AoE to come off cooldown, and long enough for maybe their defensive stuff to come off cooldown. So the tank up top left hits under 30 a few times, but we never really, I don't have to hit him with it because he's a tank. But you'll see me in this fight go through everybody at one point in time and hit him with that surgical probe like I just did right there. And having the ability in PVE is an amazing thing to be able to spam it. Once you get under 30%, it'll cause a couple of victories that you wouldn't otherwise get, especially in progression. It's going to be interesting to see what operatives do now when we're learning fight as the nightmare stuff comes out. For now, this nerf is going to hurt on PVE, and it's going to fix a lot of the things that are wrong in PvP, I think. Hope this helps. Thanks for watching. Take care.
Yeah, that was fun.
Fuck me, there was more damage going out.